Welcome back, everybody. This is Chris from Relentless Life. Today we're going to give you 4 points that are going to help you to never give up on your goals. Whatever they are, we're going to give you 4 points, and stay to the end because we have a 5th point that's going to blow your mind and it's going to make you go to the next level. So stay tuned. Be relentless. No excuses. Welcome back to Relentless Life. This is Chris. All right, so let's get straight to it. Point number 1, embrace failure. Failure is something that you need in order to succeed. I have not met or I haven't heard or read about somebody that is successful in life without dealing with failure. Failure is something that you're going to encounter every single time in life. Every time you try to achieve something, you will have to deal with it because it's part of the process. So keep that in mind. Put it here. Every time you fail at something, take a step back. It's okay. Take that step back. Take time. Analyze what's going on. Think about it. See what are you doing wrong. Always keep in mind that if you keep doing the same thing over and over, you cannot expect a different result. You need to change it up. If your goal is losing weight and you've been doing certain things that are helping you lose weight and you get to a point that you cannot lose more weight, then you need to switch it up. You need to step back and say, hey, let's see what I'm eating, how many calories, how many carbs, whatever it is. You have to look at the whole thing, the big picture, and see, hey, what I'm doing wrong. What can I do to improve this process and keep it moving? So the same thing, every time you fail, all you have to do is step back and see, okay, that didn't work. All right, let's do something that actually is going to be productive. It's going to help me, achieve my goal or whatever it is. Always keep in mind that failure is needed in order to achieve goals. Everybody in life have to deal with it. You have to deal with it too. It all depends how you're going to take it, how as a person, and how you're going to process all that information, because failure is a learning experience.
Point number 2 is you have to be relentless. To not let things beat you down, to not give up, to not quit. You have to have a relentless mindset. A mindset that says no matter what life throws at me, that I can make it through, that I can conquer it, that I can overcome it. One key with this is that you need to surround yourself with friends. You need to surround yourself with people that are going to help lift you up. People that are going to be accountability partners, that are going to help lift you up when you're down, that are going to push you and drive you to be better than what you may want to do yourself. Have you ever been at the gym and you're working out and you just want to quit? You're tired. Maybe you're working out after work. It's been a long day. You just want to quit and give up. But you can't because you're there with your friend and your friend is pushing you to do a little bit more, to do one more rep. If you've ever been in that situation, you know that having that person there is what drives you to do a little bit more, to be a little bit better. So surround yourself with people that are going to help you do that. Know that life is cyclical, that you're going to have good times and you're going to have bad times. It's about having that mindset when things aren't going right that will help lift you up to that higher place, that take you to that next level. So surround yourself with people that are going to hold you accountable and that are going to lift you up and help you to be that better person. And don't let things that, if something's going wrong now or things in life aren't going the way that you want them to right now, just know that it's just a period. It's just a season. Okay, so stay relentless, work through it. It may take another week, it may take another month, but you're going to get through. Whatever the problem is, you're going to find a solution, especially if you're relentless and you're resourceful. Okay, when you go out and you're very resourceful in finding solutions to fix whatever the problem, whether it be financial or relationship. Just get the education, get help from advisors, get advice from experts that are going to help you to get to that next level. And when you can do that, when you have an issue, when you have a problem, you surround yourself with these people and you have a relentless mindset, you're going to be able to overcome these things, and they're not going to last as long and they're not going to seem as difficult and as hard. So the key number 2, or point number 2, is be relentless and surround yourself with others that are going to lift you up and hold you accountable.
Key point number 3, prioritize. What I mean with this, what I mean is you have 24 hours in a day. You need to put everything on the table, look at your plan, and think what is more important. What I need to do, what I need to put on top of that list that I need to get done in order for me to move on with my goal, right? If you do this and you add this to your process and all the keywords that Rob and I are talking about, you are going to do great. You're gonna accomplish whatever you want. But keep in mind you need to put certain things as a priority. Hanging out with friends on Friday, that's not a priority. I guarantee you that. When I was going through college, I spent a lot of time waking up early during the weekend so I could spend time with my family, but I prioritized school because that was my goal and I was not gonna give up on it. So I started making my own list, putting everything on the table and start cutting things out. I said, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. This is what I need to focus on. So family was a big focus on me, my military career as well. So I was like, okay, college, military career, family, put everything on that list. And I started scratching a lot of stuff like hanging out with friends. If I was gonna hang out, I'll hang out in the house. So I did some things like that, and it helped me to take advantage of every single minute, every single hour of every single freaking day. What I'm saying is that making priorities is going to help you achieve your goal and not to give up. So you need to make sure you understand that if you set priorities, you're going to work on those things, and those things that are priorities are going to help you and are going to enable you to see and look at the big picture, and you will not give up. Once you see that light down the tunnel, because that's what everybody calls it, once you see it, you feel like you accomplished something, you're reaching something, right? So you don't want to give up. If you don't start prioritizing and you put all your priorities all the way to the bottom, I'm telling you right now, you're going to give up because you're not doing it the right way. You need to frame everything in order to succeed and put those priorities on top, and they're going to help you achieve your goals. All right? Keep that in mind. Prioritize. Tip number 3.
All right, point number 4 is you have to have the heart of a lion. What would happen if a new lion cub just learning how to hunt, if after the first 1 or 2 or 3 tries that it did and it wasn't successful, that it just gave up? Well, it would starve to death, okay? Because they have to be able to go out there. And it's that internal drive that's inside of them that doesn't allow them to quit, that doesn't allow them to give up, because they have to. It's part of their survival. So when you can have that heart of a lion, when you have that attitude of, I have no choice, but my survival depends upon me going out every single day and pursuing my dream. Because to live this whole life, being that you only have one life to live this whole life and not achieve your dreams and not achieve the vision for your life is not acceptable. It is simply not acceptable. If you're watching this video, then you're already one of the top 10 or 15% of people in the world, because most people won't even listen to videos like this because they don't have that winning attitude. They don't have that heart of a lion. When things get tough, they just quit. When things get difficult, they give up. And that's not what we do. If you want to win in life, you have to have the heart of a lion. When things don't go the way that you thought they should, when things aren't going in the way that you plan, it's okay. Just simply look back at what actions are you taking, what's working, what's not working, reassess it, and then hit it from a different angle. Try a different approach. Keep doing things until you find what works. You'll hear people say, well, I've tried everything. Really? Have you? Have you tried everything? Name 500 things that you've tried since you've tried everything. Oh, you can't. Okay, so name 100 things. Oh, well, you can't do that either. Can you name 10 things that you've done? No? Okay, well, can you tell me? So you've only done 3 things is really what it comes down to, and those 3 things didn't work. So in your mind, you say you've tried everything. Okay, so you have to keep going. I'm sure you've heard the story of Thomas Edison, and he tried thousands of times to make the light bulb, and they said, how did you keep going when you failed thousands of times? And he said, I never failed. He said, I just found so many times how not to make a light bulb. So you just simply learn. The only time that you fail is when you finally quit and you give up. But we are not quitters. You are not a quitter. We are not going to let you quit. So you keep driving. You have the heart of a lion, and you strive every single day. And when things aren't going right and you're not getting the results that you are wanting, look back at the action that you're taking, and maybe you need to learn something different. Maybe you need to try a different approach. Maybe you're hanging out with the wrong people, the wrong crowd. Maybe you need to find some advisors to help you. Maybe you need to do a little more research and some education. I don't know your situation, but I do know that if you are relentless every day and you have the heart of a lion and you have a non-quitting attitude that says, no matter what happens, no matter what life throws at me, I am going to find a way around it. And I know that if things aren't going right now, but I work hard and I strive, eventually I will find what works and I will become successful. So guys, remember, have the heart of a lion. Hey guys, thanks for sticking with us till the end. Now, we promised you one point that we would go over at the end that we think is the most important thing to making sure that you never give up. And it's actually really simple, but it means that you have to put a lot on yourself. And what that is that you have to raise your standard. To be able to have lasting change, something that is not just motivation. Motivation stays with you for a little while. I can get motivated for 10 or 15 minutes because I watched a really cool video that really motivated me. But what happens 10 minutes later when something doesn't go right or I get a bad phone call, I lost all that motivation, and then an hour later I totally forgot about it. But when I raise my standard, and what does that mean in simpler terms? It just means turning your should into must. When you turn your shoulds into must, things that I should lose weight, I should be a better husband, I should be a better wife, I should keep the house cleaner, I should keep my car clean. Whatever your shoulds are, is when you get to the point where you turn your shoulds into must, that is when you start to raise your standard. It means that when you have your shoulds, you turn into must, you will always find a way. You will become very resourceful in finding solutions and finding ways, because if you set that standard that says, I'm going to work out 4 times a week for a minimum of 1 hour, and that becomes a must, it's not something you talk about. It's not something you might do. It's not something that you should do. It's something that you must do. So you will find a way to find 4 days a week, 1 hour, and then you're going to make sure that that workout is good, that it is worthwhile, that you're going to look up exercises, you're going to look up, and then when you start to work out and you start to exercise, then you really start to think about what you're eating, because you don't want to waste all that time working out. So then it starts to, you see how then you start to raise your standard on how you eat, and that you start to eat healthier. It's the same thing in business. Okay, if you want to raise your standard, or when you raise your standard in business, you're raising the level, whether you own your own business or at your job, but you're raising the standard of how you deal with other people, on how your service is, on how your product is. You're raising your standard and you're making things better. And when you raise your standard and that becomes the new must in your life or in your business or in your job or in your relationship, then you start to see those lasting changes. And when you start to see positive changes in these different areas of your life, it makes you want to do even better. And so you raise your standard up again. And as you continue to raise your standard, no matter what comes at you, when you turn your shoulds into must, nothing will stop you. And you will not give up, because you must do it. It's like we talked about with having a heart of a lion. They have no choice. Even though they didn't eat on Monday, on Tuesday, they're going to go out hunting again. And if they didn't find anything on Tuesday, they're going to go out again on Wednesday and continue to hunt until they reach their goal, and then they can eat. So you have to do all the things that we talked about before, but you also need to raise your standard by turning your shoulds into must. We hope you've enjoyed this video. We hope that you continue to watch as we continue to motivate you and show you how to live the relentless life.
It takes to get to that next level, and it's raising your standards. Raising your standards mean that you're going to do better in everything you do. Relationships, health and fitness. You're going to do financially better. You're going to raise your standards in every single category you have, and that's going to take you to that next level. And it's going to keep going and going and going until you get to the summit. So set yourself for higher standards every single day. Be a better person. Be a better you. Be a better you. Be grateful for everything. Nothing is given in life, and you have to work harder every single day. Remember, be relentless. No excuses. Okay, Relentless family. Thank you for watching our 5 keys for never giving up. Make sure you check us out on Instagram. It's going to be relentless_life. Same as Facebook. Make sure you just subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. We're trying to make a better world every day. We're a work in progress. Make sure you follow us, subscribe. Press on that bell, share it with everybody, share with your family, friends, share with the world. Let us know what we're doing. If you have a question, you have topics, anything you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments. Let us know what's going on with you and anything we can do to help you be better. Be relentless, no excuses.